Hope you poured a little extra something, something, because we're going to get frustrated here on Steel and Bands. Oh my gosh.
I've never had more needles in my life than the last few years. I've had the 4 COVID shots. I've had at least 1 flu shot the last couple of years. I want to get another one because the province says it's really important this year. And I can't seem to figure it out because there's some confusion. So we threw out a Twitter poll.
Yes. Okay, let's look at
what
it.
people had to say about this. And I'm saying, are you ready to roll up your sleeve again? But this time do it for a flu shot. Take the poll, tell us why. If you're going to take a pass, because some people are, tell us why. Here are the results.
I'm so happy about these results, Linda.
1,400 votes, 73% say yes, I'm going to get it. The people who said they weren't planning on getting one said, I never get the flu, so, or the flu shot gives me the flu, which is not true.
No.
Lots of myths around that. But there is a lot of frustration around how do you register because things have changed this year.
Why are we registering for the flu
shot? I don't know. It makes no sense to me. And I don't think it makes a ton of sense to our next guest as well. Dr. Anna Wolak is a family physician here in the Vancouver area. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Are you frustrated that the province has decided this year, for some reason that nobody can understand, that they want you to register or you'll get an invite for the flu shot and everybody's like, I don't know what's going on?
Oh my goodness, as a patient, as a parent, as a provider of care, it upsets me to no end that this extra layer of bureaucracy has been added. I mean, initially I thought, great, they're opening, the one thing that was done that was really good was remove all the barriers. Previously it was, you had to be between this age, you had to be living with someone, you had to be like, have these conditions. All gone. Now it's everybody 6 months and over can get a flu shot. Yay.
Yeah.
So I thought that this year would be nice and smooth. Like anybody can get it. Anybody can. The pharmacies have it down pat. They have their own websites where you can book or you could drop in. And so I tried to be proactive and went in and tried to book my own appointment, and I was told, no, you need an invitation. And I was like, oh, no, I meant flu shot, not COVID shot, thinking I'd misspoken. And they're like, no, even for flu shot. And then I was like, that makes no sense, because on the other hand, as a physician, I know that we don't have to screen for invitations, and there's nothing centralized in booking it because we don't have to input anything. So it's really weird. And then I was seeing a whole bunch of other people getting upset, and a lot of people with high needs individuals or immunocompromised individuals or older people who couldn't get their flu shots like they wanted to, and it just was getting really frustrating. As the days have gone on, I'm seeing even more frustration because people are finding, oh yes, you can call, you don't need to wait for the invitation, but they're waiting for an hour and then just hung up on.
Oh boy. Speaking of an hour, after Linda's tweet, and we were going back and forth about the flu shot, I'm like, right, today's the day, okay. So I started calling around to find out, because people are tweeting back at, I love Twitter for how we get our resources, because people are like, I just walked in, I just called my pharmacy, we could just make it happen. And I kept writing, you're so lucky, because I don't want somebody to have the barrier that I'm finding, but I called all around me in Vancouver, and every single location was, we don't have supply. And then I had people saying, well, I just walked into the one on 41st and whatever, and I'm like, well, okay, so why is there supply at some and not other? Is this a rollout problem? I guess that's my question.
It's hard to say, because it's for every story of, I don't know what you guys are talking about, and I've gotten accused of outrage tweeting and for every one story, there are at least 5 other stories of people who are saying, no, they can't do it. And if not everybody has the time to sit for an hour, and not everybody has the resources to call everyone, or the patience, or the time, or the ability.
And here's the thing, the government wants us to get the flu shot this year. Explain why.
So the scary thing is that this is our first year in the pandemic where all public health restrictions have been dropped.
Right.
So we're a lot more exposed, and we are seeing the repercussions of that in Australia, which usually predicts our flu season, and they got slammed. They had a really bad time because flu cases were up and people were sicker. We're also seeing that starting now in the US, and just this morning I was seeing words of it happening back east in Ontario, and starting here in Vancouver. There are physicians who are already starting to see the flu. And we know that with the dropping of the restrictions, cases are going to be rising, both of COVID and of flu. So we do want everybody to get their COVID boosters and their flu shots so that we can, protect yourselves and stop any potentially severe illness, but also we don't want to overwhelm the healthcare system, and we don't want to get back to the point where we're seeing people being shipped out of the province.
As a doctor, you can tell our viewers what to do if we're symptomatic. We've been so COVID aware, right? What are we looking for? What are we doing if we have symptoms? What do we not do if we have symptoms? How do we identify that it's the flu or COVID? Or do you just, you know what? If you have a symptom of anything, you just stay home.
Essentially that. First of all, yes, a rapid test, because it'll help inform, because even though COVID initially can present like a flu, there are some repercussions further down the track that we are learning a bit more about, like long COVID and post-acute sequelae of COVID. So that knowledge will help, but at the same time, it's if you have symptoms, if you're feeling sniffly, if you have a fever, if your child is sniffly or has a fever, stay home.
Don't send them to school.
Don't send them to school. Essentially, that's the main thing.
Can we disabuse people of the notion that getting the flu shot gives you the flu?
Getting the flu shot will not give you the flu. The flu shot has a dead virus in it. It is not going to give you the flu. Your reaction to it is your body making those antibodies to fight off the flu and fight off the virus. So yeah, if you feel a bit crummy after, that's not the flu. That is you building up your internal armor so you can fight the flu.
That is such an important piece of this, because every single time we post something about the flu shot or we talk about the flu shot, whether it be on radio or on television, inevitably somebody says, the only time I've ever had the flu was after I got a flu shot, so never again. That is a misnomer.
I mean, the other thing is, you could have gotten the flu while you were sitting in the waiting room waiting to get the flu shot.
Right.
And it's not actually the flu shot itself that gave you the flu, but the circumstance that you were sitting in there and somebody with flu coughed all over you, and then you got the flu.
Oh, see, I hate the waiting room anyway. It doesn't matter because you can hardly get into a Medi Center. Dr. Anna Wolak, you're amazing. Love it. Love your passion to educate us all. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate it.
Your voice is so important.
We
will. She's our new medical expert. We're signing her up, Linda, right now. She's got the Steel and Vance
expert.
There you go.
Up next on Steel and Vance, a BC school board trustee known for his LGBTQ intolerance and sexism is slapped with a lawsuit and getting pushback from students on a campaign of positivity. We love it. That's coming up next on Steel and Vance.